Husband planning to cheat. My husband left his phone in the bathroom and I saw a text from someone I didn't recognize. I opened the text and he was sexting a coworker and they were discussing plans to meet up and have. I've caught him sexting an ex that lives in a different country a few years ago, but forgave him because I knew that it would never be messages with the girl literally telling him to make sure he wouldn't have regrets, and he was saying he didn't care, I haven't had with him in months, etc. The coworker is a girl that has had a crush on him since she was an intern. She's 22 years for reference. We have an 11-month-old daughter and I had severe tearing after giving birth. She is also very clingy, so yes, has been limited for the last year. We've been married for 5 years, I'm 30. I don't know what to do. The thought of only having my daughter 50% of the time makes me want to puke. He's a good father, so trying to get full custody would be unfair to my daughter, but staying with someone so willing to disrespect our marriage seems unfair to me. What would you do?
His texts sound bold enough that I question whether this was actually his first time cheating. He sexted his ex before and he's likely been doing this since. The fact that he straight up said he didn't care about cheating on you, that is just unforgivable. Then you confront them and they say it was a mistake, I don't know how it happened, I regret it so much, while crying. He will sob like his mama died and get on his knees saying he's sorry, but you saw that I don't, but you've seen now that that's infidelity is meticulously planned out here. I hope you saved the evidence you saw. I'd get a free consultation with an attorney to at least know your options and an STD test.
Save the messages. It all depends on what you want to do. Do you want to catch them together? Do you want to confront him and try to Do you want to confront her too? Can he get fired?
Honestly, since you're the breadwinner, you need to protect yourself and your child. He is a serial cheater. You're not going to change evidence and contact a lawyer to understand your options. After you have a plan, you can confront him. Do not contact her, you will gain nothing there. And don't tell HR, or he could lose his job and put you in an even worse position.
2 things that need to happen right now: lawyer consult to see where you stand in an STD test. Also, do not touch him. Caught him this time, there are other times you haven't.
I'm so sorry, Op. You deserve to be respected and treated so much better. It sounds like from his past betrayals that you've listed, that your husband may have a secret and he wants to add this woman to his collection. Here's my take on it: hurting mom is the definition of not being a good father. By cheating on you, he is hurting the family unit and risking blowing it up, causing mom pain, PTSD, and trauma because he is planning to cheat. Not a mistake, means that mom isn't going to be able to be as present for her daughter, because now she has a boatload of brand new betrayal trauma issues to deal with that his actions have caused her. Is the definition of not being a good dad is: I am committed to my wife, daughter, and family unit. They are the most important thing in the world to me. Because I decided to get married, and made the choice to commit to my family, it's my job to uphold my boundaries and not cheat, even if I'm tempted. As a responsible adult, I recognize that me cheating would not be beneficial to my family, and would deeply hurt. Have put a ring on it and committed to having a family if you didn't want to actually commit, buddy. Part of having a family means that sometimes is a lacking, lifestyle changes happen, and we have to deal with the reality of that. This is called talking to my wife about issues we have so that we can solve them. May also be called, I don't want to be married anymore. I need to tell my wife so that we can either attend counseling and try to work things out, or divorce. We're going to need to work out custody arrangements if that happens. And I want to be able to support my daughter emotionally and financially through these. This is why I define as purposely cheating behind mom's back as not being a good father. I define that as being abusive and neglectful towards mom. Only you can decide if reconciliation is right for you or not. But I would not confront your husband at this time. Secretly collect evidence and speak to a lawyer, so you know your rights. Whether you decide to stay or your husband is truly sorry, he will show you he is serious about changing his behavior through his actions, not his words. And he will prioritize you and your feelings over his own, because that's what you need to restore trust. But from what I read here, this man is only sorry that he got caught. And you deserve to be respected and have your feelings and well-being acknowledged, prioritized, and considered.
Go and hire a divorce attorney. After meeting a few, pick the one that works best for you. Give them the evidence of him cheating. Hire a pie of your divorce attorney feels you need more proof of you live in an at-fault state. Sue her for alienation of affection. Separate your finances, cancel any joint credit cards. Lock down your credit and that of your children. Check your bank records etc. for any hotels, meals out etc. that he has bought his AP. Get yourself checked out for STDs. Have him served with divorce papers. If you decide to forgive him again, get him to sign a post-nup with an infidelity clause. But since this is not his first affair, divorce him as you and your children deserve better.
So, you've caught him twice. How many times do you reckon he has been unfaithful and you just haven't caught him? It seems very unlikely that the only 2 times he crossed the line were the 2 times you caught him. And by letting him off the hook so easily the first time, you basically gave him carte blanche to continue his philandering. It were me, I would very calmly tell him, husband, I know you have a history of being unfaithful and also know that you are planning to have with your coworker, so as of now I am setting you free to do just that. I will be taking steps to end the marriage as I have come to realize that you don't love me as much as I love you. So now you won't have to sneak around and act single and turn and walk out of the room.
Gather the evidence, maybe get a pie and a lawyer. Right now, the advantage is yours.
Okay, I get not wanting to be mad at her, but sweetie, she knew you were in the picture at this point. She's just as bad as him, and don't let her off because she didn't make the vow. She knew you were a thing and continued to try and sleep with your husband. She's just as responsible at that point.
You're right. Last time he cried and begged and swore he would change. He probably just got better at didn't save the evidence, but I'm definitely going to do some snooping to try and get something concrete.
My husband's AP sent me a voice recording of him saying never be loyal with me as long as he has AP, that he never wanted to make love with anyone except her, that he never felt guilty betraying me, that if I found out he'd plead and tell me sorry but would do it. Learned how he planned to betray me, how he orchestrated to go behind my back, meet her, and be with first D-days. He cried and pleaded like his life depended on it, but they were D-days for a reason. I believed him every time I caught him, and now he cheats over and over again knowing that I'd take him back in a snap. I caught him again this early February. I saw his fake egg account and the vanish mode they use. And guess what, not a week later, he met with her at a hotel and they spent the night together. Not a full week did all of that, all the while posting online how much he loves and appreciates me, video calling me every time to show his whereabouts, telling me all that I needed to hear, and promising me. The people compliment us on how we are such a family goals. How lucky I am to have a husband like him who provides for and takes care of me. They don't know the repeated, orchestrated lies, and life is a big lie.
I don't want to confront her. She isn't the one that made vows to me. He can't get fired because she's no longer an intern, but it would definitely turn. Don't know if I should try marriage counseling, see if he really goes through with it, or just divorce. Yup, both things are on my list. Thanks. I needed to hear this.
If you're at an at-fault state, I would splurge on a pie. Otherwise, save copies of any screenshots you take in like a Dropbox or Google Drive. Call an attorney and call a therapist for yourself because this causes deep trauma. As far as your child goes, my dad was a serial cheater. When my mom finally divorced him, we were all relieved. They do a lot of damage to their wives and kids, and as he wrote himself, they don't care.
You stayed under the understanding he changed. Yet same scenario happened, so I think you need to rethink the marriage.
Does he have an iPhone?
Why do you want counseling for being a faithful spouse?
Don't contact her until you speak with an attorney. She could try to spin it as harassment, and you need to be squeaky clean. Once things are settled, I'd expose both of them though.
I don't know. I'm not a perfect person. I feel like I owe it to my daughter to exhaust all options. One day she will grow up and ask questions. I want her to know that I did try to keep our family together.
You can have his text messages forward to your email. Google the steps. You can also leave your AirPods in his car and track where he goes that way. This isn't his first time trying to cheat. This is a repeated behavior that will continue to happen. Get a bank account he cannot access. Also start withdrawing money. Make sure the amounts are not noticeable. If you aren't working, start looking for a job.
But raising her in a marriage with a serial cheater and a depressed mother will affect her in ways you haven't even imagined yet.
The AirPods in the car to track his movements is absolutely genius move. AirPods are such innocent items to be left around in the car and easy to hide in places. Personally, I'm petty. I'd surprise him at work. It'd take him lunch and her lunch and put a copy of the texts in both bags in front of everyone at work. Show everyone who they really know this is a bad idea op. I don't recommend, but it is what I would do. Follow my first suggestion. Also contact an attorney. You don't have to follow through with divorce, but it's good to know your state's laws.
Was raised by a mother who stayed with her unfaithful husband. I have lost all respect for her. My sister stayed with her cheating husband and has drowned herself in antidepressants since then.
You get notifications on your phone if someone else's AirPods are in your car with you. Had this happen to me with one of my kiddos' friends.
Thanks. Honestly, if I didn't have my daughter, I would do something like this. Unfortunately, I'm the breadwinner, so if he loses his job, he'll be on the hook for child support and alimony. I'm definitely going to reach out to an attorney.